Yes, dear viewers and friends, you're most welcome again. This is my second video on information literacy. We are going to look at the information source or the sources that we can pick our information from. We have two information sources. There is primary source of the information, then the secondary. Under primary source, we'll be looking at the definition. We'll be looking at the examples of the informations, how it looks like, how it is made up of, that is the characteristics. We'll be looking at the advantage and the disadvantage, also the reliability of the information. We'll look at that. Yes. Then when we look at the definition of our primary source of the information, it is the original materials or the first-hand accounts created at the time of the events or the phenomenon being studied, and they offer direct evidence or the first-hand testimony of the event, person, or the topic. That is what we call the primary source of that is basically what primary source means. Then we have some of the examples that we have. There is documents like the historical records, what has aspired, what took place, and the people who were present in the event took record of what happened, and it became an history or a first-hand information. Then number two is diary. We have diaries. This is what an individual has recorded in their everyday lives, and it became the first-hand information because they were the one who wrote it themselves. Then we have also speech. When someone is giving speech, we can do the videos or we can be recording the speech of those people. It becomes our primary source of information. We have also the personal letters. We have newspapers and magazines. We have creative work like poems, artwork, and songs or music compositions. These are all primary sources of information because the individuals are involved in the work. Then there is what we call the oral histories and interviews like the testimonies or direct interview. Like you are being interviewed maybe by social medias, you are being interviewed at a job, at the workplace, and then they record, or you are at the source of what happened. Then they can get the history through you narrating what happened. That is called the oral history. Last but not least, we have the scientific data. These are majorly people who works, the scientists who normally do discoveries, and they get raw data from scientific experiments, maybe on organisms, on living things, or maybe on viruses. Then there is also laboratory notes on field studies. When you have moved to the field and you have the information that you have collected from the field. Yeah, those are basically the examples. Let's look at the advantages Yeah. First, see, before we see the advantage, I think we should first look at the characteristics. There are some few characteristics that we are going to look at. One of the characteristics of primary source of information is that number one is originality. Originality. The information is direct and unaltered from the main event. So you cannot come with your other evidence or information and then fix it. The information is original and it is direct. Then number two, you don't need any person to narrate for you what has happened. It is not it is unmediated evidences. It is not interpreted or it is analyzed from someone. It is collected from the scene where it has taken place. Then it is also time related. It can be close to the time of the event or the scene or the scenario that happens or occurs. So those are basically the characteristics. Quickly, we move to the advantage. So one of the advantages is that it is used by historians to record or to understand the past events and cultures. So it makes them to enhance the stories and the explanation about stories. So it helps historians to get the original information. Then in literature, it helps the researchers to understand books and use it to write the original text. When events happen in different places, you can bring the real origin, you bring them together to form the original single text of the information. Then it is also science oriented. Scientists rely on the research papers, experiments, and data to test ideas and confirm facts and expand knowledge in different scientific fields. It can also be used by the scientists to collect their data and then to make confirmations about those informations. Let's see the disadvantage. Much as the primary source of information, it is good, there is also some shortcomings, like they can be incomplete or biased. Like when the person who came in the scene, like the author or the person came when the event was in the middle, the person might not be able to collect the full information. It cannot record others. Then it can also be biased by involving even the researchers or other people in the event, which might not be good. Then they might also be difficult to understand without background expertise. You might need the people, the real people who were real in that place where the events took place, that you can also gather some information to confirm that this has really happened. Thank you so much, viewers. We are about to finish. Let's see the reliability of this primary source of information. Number one, I want to assure you that this primary source of information, it has strength in that they are direct and it make it a quality and accurate. It is very accurate. Then they can also be incomplete or deceptive and biased in that it can trick an individuals into believing something which is not true. The fact that you were not there and it has already been written. So those are the challenges. That's why it may need the background expertise, people who have been there, so that they can come up with some clues to confirm that really this is what happened. Yes. Thank you so much for your time. See you in my next video. Please subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.